Hey everybody, it's Jill for today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you're going to see. And if you like it, why don't you go ahead and give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. So today I wanted to talk about the old Weight Watchers. I'm not sure how many, and I'm talking old Weight Watchers, not Smart Points or Fitness Full or any of those that they had in the last 10 or 15 years. I'm talking back to like the 70s. When I was 15, 16, it was about 1966, 67, right around there. I started Weight Watchers, and it was a whole different plan. And then I started it again in 1970. And both times I had success, and both times I stuck to it just like so hard. And when you hear, and maybe a lot of you out there know what the old plan was, but for some of you who don't know what it was like, it was crazy. And you know, I know a lot of people don't like to track their points in today's WW world. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a real challenge back then. There were no computers, there was no software, there were no cell phones. And what they would give you at the meetings was a calendar for the month. And you were to sit there and put all your little food items in this, and you could circle on the left which ones you'd eaten for the day. And you went to these meetings and there was no privacy. Everyone stood in line and watched you get weighed, and at the end everyone would cheer if you lost weight, or they'd say, oh, too bad, next week. But they announced your weight in class is what they did. And they called it, what did we call it? I think we called it meeting, and the person up front was the lecturer. It's crazy. And at that time, it was $1.50 or $2 a week. I can't recall. So that's how far we've come. But enough of that. I want to tell you a little bit about the program. So much of it I remember still to this day by heart. And I did make some notes though, so I wouldn't forget some of the great stuff. You were only allowed 4 eggs per week, and you could only have it at breakfast or lunch. And you could have them boiled or fried in, Pam, but, that was it, 4 eggs a week. 4 ounces of cheese a week. And again, you could only have 2 ounces at a time, and you could only have it at breakfast or lunch. Oh, at breakfast it was 1 ounce. So you really had to think this stuff through if you wanted to have meals throughout the day or through the week. If you used up that cheese in the first 2 days, you were sunk. No soft cheeses like cream cheese or anything that was soft and spreadable. Could not use it. Of course, there were no crackers or rice cakes. So what were you going to spread it on anyway? 5 fish meals a week, and you were required. These were all requirements. These were rules. You were to have 5 fish meals a week. At breakfast, it was 1 ounce. If you had it at lunch, it was 4 ounces, and it was 6 ounces at dinner. And this was cooked weighed. Cooked weighed. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Beef meals, 3 a week. And again, the same. I don't even know if you could have beef at breakfast. Lunch and dinner, certainly. But that was it. 3 meals a week of beef. Liver, you had to have liver once a week. It was beef liver, calf's liver, or chicken liver. And that was like really hard. I don't like liver. But you know what? I did it. I ate every ounce of that liver. And if we went to friend's house and I was on Weight Watchers and they invited us for dinner, I took my dinner and I cooked it there, including liver once in a while. So that's how, I was. 3 fruit a day. And you had to have 1 at lunch, let's see here, 1 at breakfast, 1 at breakfast. 3 fruit a day, and there were actually some limits on what kind of fruits. And if you wanted to have a banana, you had to substitute out an apple. So you couldn't have a banana and an apple in the same day. No raisins, no dried fruit, nothing like that. 16 ounces of milk a day. When I first started Weight Watchers, you had to use powdered, non-fat, dry milk. And you had to make your milk from that. Now, when I hit the 1970s, they switched over to, skim milk in the carton, and buttermilk was another one you could have, and fat-free condensed milk. I don't know why you'd want that, but you could have that. They had this thing with vegetables. They had number 3 vegetables and they had number 4 vegetables. Then they had 3A vegetables and 3B vegetables and the things that you could not eat. Now, number 4 vegetables were peas, carrots, onions, green onions, baking squash, and these were all limited to 4 ounces a day. 4 ounces a day. I'm trying to look at what else. Brussels sprouts, cabbage. I mean, those were limited vegetables. Tomatoes, limited vegetable. What you could have is lettuce, celery, green pepper. I mean, it was pretty limited. You didn't sit there and snack on vegetables unless it was celery and radishes. It was pretty dim, pretty dim. No yogurt. As I recall, there was no yogurt really at that time. 2 breads a day, and you had to have them with the meal, and you couldn't pile them up. Like you couldn't have a 2-piece bread sandwich. 1 piece of bread at breakfast or lunch, and again, only with meals. And there was a substitution thing that came in the early 70s. The 60s was strictly the bread, but in the early 70s, you were able to trade it out for rice, let's see here, beans and rice and pasta. You could trade out your bread for that. But I think it was only 1 time a week that you could sub out that. Or an ounce of cereal. You could sub out for an ounce of cereal. Fats. No olive oil. I'm not sure why. You couldn't use olive oil. You vegetable oil, margarine or diet margarine, and fats were 1 tablespoon a day, again with meals. And it was 1 tablespoon for regular fats. No mayonnaise. Oh no mayonnaise. I don't think there was mayonnaise. Oh, maybe so. In the 70s, I think they allowed us to have mayonnaise. But if you had a regular fat, it was 1 tablespoon. If you used diet margarine, it was 2 tablespoons. I can remember taking tuna fish, and this is the truth, 5 fish a week. And the fish that I was able to get then was in the freezer case at the grocery store. And it was a frozen block of like cod fillets, I don't know, it was always just sole. It was crappy fish, and you had to defrost it and use it. In my town, we did not have fresh fish, so it was frozen fish or tuna, canned tuna. So I opted a lot of times for the canned tuna because it was more palatable. And what I would do is stack up a lot of tuna fish during the week in my lunch, and I would use mustard, mustard, dehydrated onion flakes, because regular onions were a number 4 vegetable, which was limited. And so I would use onion flakes and I would use mustard. I must have been able to use a little mayonnaise. It just seems to me I was able to, but I really piled on the mustard because I wouldn't want to have used my fats, you know, for just tuna fish. So that's how I got rid of a lot of my fish meals. The meats had to be broiled or baked. I'm trying to think anything else that was just like weird. That was pretty weird. And you had, as I said, this calendar, meal calendar, that you kind of tracked your meals that way. And if you had problems, you went into your leader and she'd go over the diet with you. And, you know, it's a long ways have we come. And this is a fab program. I know we got off track here this last 6 months. That's really off track. But when you look at it, oh, no alcohol, zip, no alcohol. Nothing that you would, cookies, potato chips, pretzels, nothing like that was allowed. The list of stuff you couldn't have was much bigger than the list of what you could have. And we're kind of in a reverse now with the new Weight Watchers program, which is marvelous. And if you want, I can, I'm trying to think where I could put it. I've got the program, the old program, and I could find a way to put that on my Facebook page. I'm not sure how else to add that. I don't have a website, so I'm not sure how I can do that. But if you look online, you can find the old program. I did very well. I lost about 75 pounds in the time I was in the 70s. It was 70 and 71. And I went on a camping trip with my ex-husband, and we were in a minivan, and I stayed on that program for a month and a half in a van camping on a Coleman stove or on fire pit cooking. And I weighed absolutely everything I ate, because you had to weigh everything. Everything had to be weighed or measured. Oh, it was exhausting. It's a whole lot better now. Anyway, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you about the old program. I'm looking here real quick to see if there was anything else I missed, because really it's a hoot what you could and what you couldn't eat. And I'll try to put that program online somehow for you. Yeah, I think that's about it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little walk down memory lane, and I hope that you now are more encouraged with the new Weight Watcher plan and Freestyle, because it is free considering where we were in 1970. Powdered milk, yeah, and you had to have 16 ounces a day. Oh boy. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. Make a comment if you like. And if you look down below, if you hit that little bell where it says subscribe, there's a little bell just down there. If you hit that, then you'll always know when I'm doing an upload. I have an Amazon link. I'm an affiliate. If you go down into the comment section, you'll see that. If you use that, thank you very much. Get a little something. And that's about it. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.